shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side millions are in the platforms homeless. One side tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side millions are in the platforms homeless. One side tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side millions are in the platforms homeless. One side tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side millions are in the platforms homeless. One side tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side millions are in the platforms homeless. One side tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side millions are in the platforms homeless. One side tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity.
Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadisham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nityanandam. We welcome all Kailasa-vasis attending from all Kailasa monasteries, gurukuls, temples, ashrams, and centers from around the world. We welcome all the Nityananda TV, Kailasa TV, Hinduism Now TV, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube viewers, and all those blessed to have Jnana Diksha two-way video conferencing for joining us for today's program. We welcome all our viewers for today's pre-Satsang posting segment. We'll be starting with a brief introduction to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanghana, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Paramashivoham, is the reviver of Kailasa, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilization and nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is a 1008 incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities a lifestyle for humanity. Moving on, we'll be looking at the coronations of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Before 1981, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was identified as the 1008 incarnation of Paramashiva by spiritual adepts and enlightened masters of Hinduism. In 1981, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was initiated into Bala Sannyasa and performed his first Chaturmasya Vratam of pilgrimage at the age of 3. In 1988, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the future Guru Mahasanghana or Pontiff of Thundai Adi, which is the oldest monastic university. On 24th May 1994, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the successor of Arunachala Sarangapita by Guru Parampara. In 1999, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the mission Nityananda Sangha to revive Kailasa internationally, and he was also coronated as the successor of Kashi Sarvapita. In the year 2002, on 4th November, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded Kailasa, Adi Kailasa Sarvapita. On 1st January 2004, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the successor of Bhagyanagara Sripura Sarvapita. On 31st December 2004, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the incumbent emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajya of Suryavamsa lineage. In the year 2007, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as a Guru Mahasanithanam of Adi Pallava Sarangapita and as a Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvanyaka. On 27th April 2012, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the 293rd Guru Mahasanithanam of Madurai Shamla Pitha Sarvangapita, which is the oldest Hindu papal state and monastic kingdom. In 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was officially coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar, or the Supreme Spiritual Head of Mahanirvanyaka, which is the largest apex monastic order. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was the youngest Mahamandaleshwar during this coronation. In the same year, he was also declared as the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of Atalakhara, which is the oldest monastic order in Hinduism, by Acharya Mahamandaleshwar Sukadevanandaji, the then incumbent spiritual head. In 2014, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Tanjore Adinam. In the same year, in 2014, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Tiruvarur Adinam. He was also coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Vedaranyam Adinam and as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Panchanitikulam Adinam in 2014. In 2015, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam. He was also coronated as the Guru Mahasanithanam of Adipitha Koladamat, and he was also elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 spiritual leaders or pontiffs. Now, let us look at some of the global initiatives of Kailasa. The following pictures show 28 years, a glimpse of 28 years of relentless humanitarian services and initiatives, including free vegetarian food, medical services, natural disaster relief, women empowerment initiatives, conflict resolution and peace initiatives, sustainable Hindu practices through various international agencies and bodies of Kailasa. These pictures show just a glimpse of 28 years of relentless hard work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism through various international agencies and bodies of Kailasa. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored more than 300 books and written more than 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, which have been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. Over 20 million copies, books, and articles have been sold, read, and downloaded. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has established the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revered as most prolific and most viewed Guru in the digital world. He is read and watched by over 1 billion followers in Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has delivered over 10,000 hours of discourses, which have gathered over 1 billion views on social media. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is respected as commentator of all sacred scriptures such as Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Shiva Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita, Jain Sutras, etc. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is honored as leader of Hinduism. He is the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influential living personalities by Watkins Mind, Body, Spirit magazine. The Sovereign Order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam and Nityananda Order of monks, nuns, and Hindu diaspora are working for global peace and to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of the largest Hindu university in the world with satellite campuses in 150 countries. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of over 1,000 Kailasa enlightenment ecosystem. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the founder and reviver of over 100 Satsang repeatings. With this, we come to the end of this brief introduction to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We'll be right back after a short break. Please stay with us. Nityananda.
Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty.
Welcome back. We welcome all our viewers back to the next segment of free Satsang hosting. In the previous segment, we saw a brief introduction of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and we also saw a glance of some of the global initiatives of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, including serving free meals, Annadanam, free vegetarian organic meals, which are offered to people worldwide. Kailasa has a history of offering and feeding millions of people in one time. For example, during Kumbh Melas and during Paurnamis in Tiruvannamalai, Kailasa has fed almost 3 million people at a time. We know from history that there have been famines where an entire empire, such as the colonial empire before 1950s, killed 3 million people just like that in famine. But at the same time, we see Kailasa with few volunteers, 100-200 volunteers, is able to feed 3 million people at a time. So what the world's biggest empire is not able to do, Kailasa is able to do with only a few people. It shows that what we really need is the intention, the consciousness to serve people. We have enough resources on planet Earth, and that is what one of this global initiative of Kailasa is about, Kailasa's Ishanya project. Actual truth is, humanity as a modern society has already reached a state of technology and infrastructure to provide food, clothing, and medical care for all 8 billion people calling planet Earth home. Unfortunately, our decision makers have not reached the necessary conscious level to make the humanitarian decision of providing basic needs for all 8 billion people. The survival needs of all 8 billion people doesn't depend on availability of housing and food, but rather on conscious level of decision makers. It is only consciousness we lack, nothing else. We'll illustrate this point with through statistics, and then we'll look at how Kailasa is working on it. We'll be looking at food wastage, medical equipment wastage, clothing wastage, and home and shelter wastage to understand that we have enough of all these resources, but we are unable to, or unwilling to, or unaware to manage them properly for the benefit of larger humanity. Let's look at the food wastage part first. Around 1/3 of the food is getting wasted one side versus 35 million are affected by food poverty. 1/3 of the food production in the world for human consumption, around 1.3 billion tons gets lost or wasted every year. Food losses amount to $680 billion in industrialized countries and $310 billion in developing countries. 155 million people in 55 countries or region faced a food crisis in 2021, and by 2021, adding the numbers due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it increases to 265 million. Even if just 1/4 of the food currently lost or wasted globally could be saved, it would be enough to feed all these hungry people and additionally more people, such that we can feed 870 billion hungry people in the world. It shows we have enough food. We just need the consciousness to better manage the food and share the food. 35 million people are dying from hunger worldwide. A child dies from hunger every 10 seconds. Poor diets are linked to 20% of all deaths worldwide. Now we'll look at the medical equipment wastage. One side, $5.25 billion of the equipments are getting discarded and wasted, versus other side, 100 million people are suffering with no medical care. US medical waste will attain $5.25 billion by 2027. Among regulated and unregulated clinical waste, around 80 to 85% can be reused, but right now, much of it is getting wasted. Unused supplies in medical facilities are often discarded unnecessarily rather than stored for later use, adding even more unnecessary garbage being carted away to landfills. Reprocessing industry is somewhat managing and saving 15 million pounds of medical waste from landfills and reducing costs to hospitals and surgical centers by over $544 million. The world's poorest countries, unfortunately, are paying some of the highest drug prices, with everyday medicines costing up to 30 times more than in rich nations. The poorest countries who can't afford these medicines are paying 30 times more than rich nations. It shows there's something wrong in the way we are thinking. Half the world lacks access to essential health services. 100 million are pushed into extreme poverty because of health expenses. When so many people are affected with health, on one side, how are we wasting more than 80 to 85% of our medical resources? Next, moving on to clothing wastage. 59,000 tons of clothes are getting wasted on one side, versus 1 out of 8 children live without basic clothes. 1 billion children worldwide are multidimensionally poor without access to basic accessories. 100 million garments are produced each year, with 33% going to landfill, and which is like 59,000 tons of used and unsold clothing, which is getting ended up in Chile from all over the world. Every 10 minutes, an estimated 6,000 kilos of clothing and textiles are dumped in landfills. 22,000 children die each day due to inhygiene around the world. So one side, we see an extreme amount of resources getting wasted. One side, people who need are dying because of unavailability of resources. Next, moving on to vacant homes and shelter. One side, 42 million homes worldwide are vacant. Other side, 27% of people are going through homelessness. Looking at the statistics, there are 426 million vacant homes worldwide, out of which roughly 10%, which is 42 million, are empty. Japan, for example, has the highest percent of empty vacant homes, which is 13.6%. 1.3 million homes are vacant in Canada. There has been a 27% increase in homelessness, likely due to the economic impacts of COVID-19. Most Almost 1/3 of the people facing homelessness services are women and children. For the last 5 years, core homelessness has been rising. Homeless people are over 9 times more likely to take their life than the general population. 78% of homeless people report having physical health condition, 44% of them having mental health diagnosis, and 41% use drugs and alcohol to cope up with mental health issues. Kailasa's aim is to raise the consciousness level in the world and bring to the fore the real issues facing the world, and through a specialized process of recycling, facilitating movement of good quality, unwanted items from haves to have-nots. This Chaturmasya, 4 months from July to October 2022 alone, 1 crore people, that is 10 million people, should practice Samadhi to raise their consciousness, and 1 crore people, 10 billion people, should be pulled out of poverty. This is Kailasa's aim and vision of our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. There are multiple benefits, threefold benefits. For donors, it is a great boon to provide to those in need. For the world, recycling removes a lot of hazardous material from nature, adding to a cleaner environment. For those in need, billions of people around the world will be alive and raised out of poverty, hunger, inadequate health practices due to lack of medical facilities. It's a win-win-win situation. Sri Kailasa, over 27 years, has built a network of legal entities in 140 countries around the world, holding charity status in 118 of these countries. In many countries, Sri Kailasa's entities are registered distributors as well, meaning we can manage the entire process end to end. We will make full use of this network to collect clothing, medical equipment, and food material from the developed nations, transport them and distribute it to the countries and regions in need, with all the transportation and distribution expenses sponsored by Sri Kailasa. Our process involves collection of clothing, medical equipment, and foodstuff from various countries around the world, followed by quality control and processing of received goods. And finally, distribution of good quality clothing, medical equipment, and food to the countries in need. Now let us look at some of the few examples of Ishanya project. In Madurai, almost 26,800 servings of food were offered to homeless and hungry. In Jayatinagar, Sri Lanka, 2,000 meals were served at Mahadev Swamikal Children's Home. In Kotagala region, Sri Lanka, 2,500 articles of clothing were donated and distributed. In Hyderabad region, India, weekly Annadan, feeding of hundreds of poor villagers from around the region. In Tiruvannamalai, Tamil Nadu, non-stop, day and night Annadan and healing session for hundreds of thousands of pilgrims circumambulating the sacred Arunachala hill. In fact, in one Paurnami festival, for example, full moon festival alone, almost 3 million people are fed in Tiruvannamalai, and similarly in Madurai, non-stop Annadan is offered every month at various times. With this, we come to the conclusion of this segment on Ishanya project, which shows that one side, humanity has so many resources, but on the other side, people are suffering because what we lack is not really resources, but the consciousness to understand the real problems of humanity and being able to solve it. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. We'll be continuing with the next segment.
Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty.
Nityanandam, welcome back to today's pre-Satsang hosting segment. We just saw a brief introduction of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and we saw some of the global initiatives of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, such as the Ishanya project. We'll be moving on and presenting some of the scientific facts which the science is discovering, like how we were discussing yesterday. And we'll be sharing some of the Sakshi Pramanas, some of the eyewitnesses or people who have experienced these breakthroughs. And finally, it all concludes to how we can manifest this for ourselves by Paramashivoham level 3, which is one of the most awaited programs with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, starting from October 6th up until October 26th. Paramashivoham is an immersive 21-day awakening event to teach you the science of manifesting the ultimate consciousness in you. This Paramashivoham manifests the deeper experiences of 25 states of consciousness, vertical time zones, power manifestation. Join us for this grand event by registering at kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. At the same time, we'll be understanding what it means to learn the science of manifesting the reality that we want, what it means to learn the science of manifesting ultimate consciousness. So we'll be having some guests joining with us, but a little introduction to what it means to manifest ultimate consciousness, what it means to manifest our reality. As we saw in Ishanya project, we have enough resources, but what we lack is the consciousness to understand the problem, to share the resources. In the same way, for example, when we want to manifest a healthy body, we think wrongly. It's a myth which the society has wrongly taught us, that as if we are victims of our biology, we are victims of our genes which we inherit from our parents and our ancestors. But only recently, science is catching up with Hinduism. What the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been revealing since past 2 decades, science is recently catching up and explaining, yes, we can alter our genes. The science was discarded for 3 decades, but now a name has been given to it. It's called epigenetics, and it is a proper field in the mainstream medicine, which they are studying, the science of altering genes. There are 3 things which can alter a gene. One is the stress from the environment. One is that the gene itself, how we inherit from our ancestors, how the protein is. And third, our thoughts. This is where we can use our consciousness can alter our genes. This is how manifesting ultimate consciousness in us directly impacts our health. Manifesting ultimate consciousness in us, manifesting Paramashiva in us, will solve all our problems, right from global health, global hunger, global poverty, such big things, to something as simple as a headache which we have, our health, our relationships, our wealth issues. Reality is we have enough. What we need is to awaken our consciousness. In the next segment, we'll be having some special guests who will be discussing on this and sharing their experiences. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your 3 eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda.
Nityanandam, welcome back. In this segment of the pre-Satsang hosting, we have some very special guests who will be joining and sharing with us the science of manifesting ultimate consciousness, the science of manifesting Paramashiva in various dimensions, health, wealth, relationships, even things like ending global poverty, global hunger, global food shelter problem, so many things. We have with us Sri Nitya Abhimuktananda Ayya, who is one of the causers, who is one of the persons trained by our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and the ecosystem to manifest, to teach the science of manifesting the ultimate reality, to teach the science of manifesting Paramashiva. Welcome, Abhimukta Ayya.
Welcome. Nityanandam, thanks so much for this opportunity, Sarveshwar Raj. Thanks so much, Swamiji, for giving this platform to share about it. So as very nicely, Maharaj, you are talking about the healing thing. So that's where I thought of taking up the further leads. Swamiji, known as a super healer, he healed millions and millions and millions of people. So through this healing, he has established our Hindu science, Sanatana Dharmic science, is completely scientific. Just to recap, what I understand from what you said is, even when the healing happens, it just does the change in the DNA level. So we have done a similar kind of research, a multi-research. We have done it in our earlier inner awakenings, and we proved it if I'm not mistaken, 50 plus medical reports have been already, medical papers have been already, published by Nityananda Hindu universities. So many things we have done that cross. Here, I thought today, since I'm from causing side, when we start talking to people, causing the reality, the core, we are, as I said yesterday, we are a co-creator. We are here to help, assist people, dream comes true, and give the purpose of life through Swamiji's teaching, spiritual teaching. So many of the people actually, today, if you see the world thing, the biggest problem is the health. Of course, when I say healing, it's not only about the body, it's about a body, it's about a mind, physiology, psychology, and all things. But major issue is healing in the body level. I can give tons and tons of experience on that. It's not only my pramana, my experience. Okay, what I have faced in my family members, I would like to share. Meanwhile, we have few more participants, devotees would be joining, who has received this healing and changed their life. So shall I request Vision team to incorporate Surya Kumaraya, who is joining?
Yes.
Yeah. So yes.
We'll be right back. Please stay with us as our participants join us for sharing their beautiful testimonials. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Welcome back. Thank you. Now
Yes.
we have some of our participants here to share their experiences. Please go ahead, Avimuktaya.
Yes. Thank you. So when we are talking about this healing, so I want to just start with one of the personal experience from my family. For example, I have two examples, but I'll try to share that one to you today for the audience. In the healing part, I introduced my mother to Swamiji. So we have done a program in 2014. She's that time 60, 65 plus, and as usually having the problem of blood pressures, diabetes, and all things, and she's fat to obesity and all the problems that she was having. And that, and India being a capital of diabetes, and we started medications from all the places. Like, you go to any allopathic medicines, that they would be giving you a lot of medicines. Like, so every day it's about eating some 15-20 medicines, and that's the way the life used to be there. And we all know that the end of all these medicines after 15-20 years, it makes your life fatigue. Not only fatigue, it is, will start impacting some of your organs, right? This is all, medically proved. We know that, but that's what I'll say 90 plus, percentage of the market is already, population is already into that. So my mother is one of them, but I introduced her to Swamiji. So she has attended some inner awakening, and she used to get a healing from it. And she used to do Siva Puja, Guru Puja, get Atmalinga. So in that way, she, on her own way, she's, dedicated, and she used to follow Swamiji, whatever possible. So how this healing has really turned out better is, she has understood completion also. So when we are talking about a healing, it is a total healing, cosmic healing. So few months back, she has to get into hospital. She has to admit it into hospital. And the situation was like that, she has to go. The doctor was calling me and telling me that maybe some kind of a dialysis has to go, it was to that level. And a couple of days she was in ICU, and she came out. Then she shared with me what has happened. So, of course, in the IA, she always asks Swamiji a special request of taking care of her health and, doing a completion. And whenever the death has to happen, Swamiji has to be with and all that stuff. So that is why I'm just saying, when it is a healing, it's not only the body. It is all about, it's all about, even the psycho healing, when if something happening to me, I know Swamiji is there at the back of my mind. It gives a lot of healings. So to her, what happened is, so in that 2 days, she was telling me, like, I was just sitting with myself and Swamiji. I was just keep on talking to Swamiji, and I was just telling, to each and every part of my body, Swamiji, please heal my part. Swamiji, just heal my part. And trust me, it was a little, it's surely a medical miracle for me that the doctor came and told, we were thinking it will go to the dialysis, but somehow she has recovered. She said somehow she has recovered. And I asked her what? She said, I was doing only that. She was always having a doubt on completion, these and that. But when the real situation happened, she could able to rise, and she could able to really feel Swamiji is there for her. And she completely complete with her and done the self-healing, and she could able to come out of the diseases very comfortably. So the healing here for me, that time I understand how important, Swamiji recently mentioned, how important it is for the family members to introduce. If I'm Swamiji devotee, he said, please introduce your family members also to my thing. Because I'm not a normal guru, I can just give you anything, and your family members also should be knowing what is the power of me. And that is an incident has put really set record in all my family circle, that how Swamiji healing is important. And really now anything happening in all our family circles, immediately they'll rush to me, get a healing from Swamiji. Because no media, nothing important when the person life comes to a standstill. And doubtlessly, it is being established that Swamiji is there for a healing, and his healing is beyond any evidences. Okay, when you have few millions people come and just say this is what happened, then what else you needed? Of course, scientific, we are here to.
It was a really amazing sharing, Ayya.
That's exactly I wanted to say. So, so this is one part. So similarly, we have Surya Kumar Ayya. Surya Kumar Ayya is here to share. There are many components he'll be talking about today. One of the components he'll be talking about is how healing is, the healing dimension of he enjoyed Swamiji. Okay. Yes, Surya Kumar Ayya, over to you.
Nithyananda Maharaj, thank you for giving me opportunity and Swamiji and the Sangha. This healing initiation I got from Swami 2017 after Paramashivoham. Afterwards, I was using that one for self-healing. Then I got blessing from Swamiji. Whoever comes to Kailasa Porto, they should get healed 100%. That blessing I got. Whoever come to our center, if they heal means they will get healed. That practically experience so many things is there. In that, first I will like to tell about my self-healing experience. I have got great experience of two things. In that, one organ, heart, you know, it is very vital organ. So in the heart, I was having some pain. Normally, when I go to, I used to go in two-wheeler. I used to fall down frequently. I don't know. Even something will happen if I go slow. Also, I will fall down. Then I started chanting Mahavakya when I was going in two-wheeler. So afterwards, I have not fell down anytime. So in between, only one time I fell down. That also very dead slow. Just my vehicle tilted only. Just vehicle gone to the ground. Just I fall down on the vehicle only. Just like that. That time the mirror is just little bit chest. So that moment I didn't anything. I just myself was taking operate the vehicle and went to the office. Then evening I come back, I was feeling intense pain at my left side, this heart area. Office and all didn't feel any pain, but I'm feeling after coming my home this pain. Then I thought of thinking the hospital. Then I thought of okay, Swamiji given me this power. Let me think in my own inner space, or let me heal myself. Then I chant Mahavakya. Just close my eyes. I see myself inside it. Slowly, that mind settles down. Then I gone into inner space. Then I could able to see literally my heart. You will not believe I was seeing literally my heart, how it is pumping. Then how the blood is going to each vessels. Then one through one artery it is goes. Then another vessel is coming out. That coming out vessel veins. It is showing some resistance like fountain like this. That free flow is not there. Like that I was seeing it. Then I was seeing that intensely. Why that free flow is not there? Just I'm seeing the intensity. Slowly, that flow become laminar. That means uniform flow is happened. Then it's going to lungs. That like that I visualize this all happened about 20 minutes. This strong experience. I could able to see even the muscles. If you physically see the heart out with that, literally I'm seeing my heart. Then I give him command, let me heal myself, whatever the problem in my heart, let me heal. Swamiji, bless me for that. Just I was saying this word, just I'm intensely seeing through my third eye, this heart, visibly I'm seeing it. Everything is settled, then smooth come, then pain also started reducing. Then over 3 days, the total pain has gone. Afterwards, what happened? No, this healing happened means before I don't know whether I'm having something I didn't know. But before I used to have, when I get used to tension, everything is I used to get pain. The pain not coming afterwards. After this healing, the pain is not coming. Then I felt okay, something in my heart has been healed. Till now, that healing is now the problem, the pain I'm not experiencing now from heart. So this is a great experience I got through my self-healing. For healing my heart myself. Ayya?
Yes, Ayya. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a good thing. You know, the self-healing is also, since Ayya said about, thank you so much, Ayya.
Thank you so much, Ayya. Thank you so much, Avimukta Ayya. So,
yes, thank you, Ayya.
As we heard some of these healing experiences,
okay. So
personal life.
On this self-healing part, so as a healer in our 21 days Paramashivoham program,
Yes. So as Avimukta was sharing some of his personal life and personal family healing experiences, and Surya Kumar Ayya was also sharing some of his personal healing experiences. We'll be also sharing some of the miraculous healing experiences for the inner awakening and Paramashivoham participants Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it.
Nityanandam, welcome back. Now, please go ahead, Muktaya, and share with our participants some of the experiences from Paramashivoham program participants. Please go ahead, Ayya.
Yes, thank you. So today what we saw is about a healing. We saw scientifically how healing happens when you are with a spiritual master or when you are having a spiritual question. And I was just sharing as a devotee how my mother was, getting a healing and how it saved a life. It's not only just save a life, how people learn the science of going beyond pain. And we learned it from Ayya so beautifully, that how he could be able to change through self-healing. So it's a self-healing series, and we will be seeing this regularly. This week, we are going to cover more on the healing part. So I wish that if any of the live audience, you have any specific questions about Paramashivoham level 3 or, healing part, you all going through any, physical ailment, any problems, or you wanted to have a healing for any of your, family members, friends, acquaintance, you can always post to our websites for the healings. And just instead of, that can be a starting point, but the best thing to happen is you yourself can become a healer. That is beautifully possible with Paramashivoham, the immersive 21 days awakening. This is the time with Paramashiva. This is the time with Avatar. This is the time to get superconscious mutation. Superconscious mutation is a process where it's going to take you from human to superhuman. And this will give you a power of self-healing and healing others too. Tell me one thing, what else can be the best contribution you can do to the world? You know, apart from, of course, apart from other material things, healing someone's life. When I'm just saying healing, it's not only a physical level, you get healing in a psychological level with the body, mind, and everything. So that's what Bhagavan contribute to the world. So please post your question, post your healing request, and please be part of our 21 days super conscious mutation program called Paramashivoham Level 3. For that also, if you have any clarifications, you want a further information, please ping us. Okay. With this, I'll take a leave. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Nityananda.
Thank you, Mukta. Thank you, Suryakumar for joining us today for today's pre-satsang hosting. Now it's time. We'll be moving on to the upcoming Alive Satsang. Let us now receive our beloved Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, by chanting the Mahavakya. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityanandeshwara Paramashivasamarambam Nityanandeshwari Paramashivashaktimadhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and blessing. I welcome all the living, practicing Hindus from all over the world. de facto Kailashians. I welcome all the Sarvanya Pita Kartas, Yajaman, ministers, ambassadors, diplomats, citizens, consulate generals, Mantreshwara, Vidyeshwara, Ganeshwara, Lokeshwara, Astreshwara. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Mahakailasa. Listen. There is a space where time is not past, present, future. It is just is. The pure isness forms the basis of existence of time. In that time, which is only is, there is no past, present, future. Past, present, future, all is. In that space, Paramashiva manifested all his 64 forms for various leelas. For example, Lingodbhava manifested to establish the supremacy of Paramashiva. Paratva of Paramashiva, Shiva Paratva, is established by Lingodbhava by showing Brahma and Vishnu their space and their manifestations. Listen. But the Lingodbhava can never be called as was. At that time, Lingodbhava manifested. You can't say Lingodbhava is. Kalabhairava manifested to remove the ego of Brahma, to remove one head, the ego head of the Brahma. Actually, we can't use the word manifested. He is manifesting still now, will be manifesting forever. Because the space where Paramashiva manifested as Kalabhairava, as Lingodbhava, does not have past, present, future. Listen. The space from which Kalabhairava manifested the space from which Lingodbhava manifested. For example, one more example. Veerabhadra manifested. Paramashiva manifested as Veerabhadra to kill Daksha, destroy Dakshayanya. Actually, we can't say he manifested and disappeared. No. We can't use that word. He is manifesting. Paramashiva manifested as Kalakala, Mrityunjaya. He killed Kala, death, for Markandeya and stood as Kalagala. We can't say this in past tense because he is still there. He manifested in a space where there is no past, present, future. It is just simply present. You need to understand that space you need to understand. Only then you will understand the 64 different manifestations, superconscious mutation of Paramashiva. Understand? Even if you intellectually understand the superconscious mutations of Paramashiva, you will manifest him. You will celebrate him. You will enjoy him. You will be alive. And you yourself will experience the very manifestations of Paramashiva in your existence. See, Paramashiva manifested as Dakshinamurti to teach Veda and Agamas to Targamana rishis. It's not that it was a past. If you become silent to free yourself from the past, present, future, through unclutching, you can see he is teaching even now in that huge cosmic sound. Om, even recorded by NASA. That soundless sound, Anahata Dvani. Om. If you can hear it through the deep unclutching, you can see Dakshinamurti teaching you now. Dakshinamurti teaching you now. Paramashiva manifested as Ardhanarishwara to give darshan to Bringi Maharshi and to teach the whole universe. Devi is always one with him. She is in oneness. Shakti is not separate. So, each of the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva is one expression, one superconscious manifestation, one of the superconscious mutation of Paramashiva in his various manifestations. I should say superconscious mutation manifestation of Paramashiva is countless. All these manifestations are beyond time. I am talking about 64 because he revealed 64 to planet Earth for all of us to know. But surely there's a lot more. For all of us, what we need to know is revealed. Understand? First, meditate and try to understand there is a space without past, present, future, just is. Past, present, future is nothing but time cognized by the mind, which can cognize only small things, which cannot cognize the pure isness. When you are agitated and restless inside, you cognize only small things. Kanda, kanda, kanda. Small. When you are peaceful, unclutched, powerful inside, you see akanda, unbroken, which is no pieces, pure akanda. That is why in Hindu tradition, time is always shown as circular, not linear. It is circular. Soon the world will realize the linear idea of time may be useful for history documentation, but in reality, if you want to understand time, use the time as one of the strength for civilization. You need to understand the circular existence of time. Listen. For your day-to-day building a house or surveying the land, the idea earth is flat is useful. But to understand the whole universe, the idea earth is flat is insufficient. You need to come to the truth, earth is globe. Same way, to record history, understanding time as a linear movement may be useful. But to understand time in reality, realizing time is circular, and time there is no was, will, time is. Time is. If you cognize that, you will understand Dakshinamurti is manifesting now. Paramashiva is manifesting as Linga now. As a Linga Murti now. Paramashiva is manifesting as Lingodbhava Murti now. Understand? All you need to enjoy the powers and superconscious mutation of 64 manifestations of Paramashiva is to have the right knowledge about all that 64 manifestations. You need to understand Paramashiva as he introduces himself. Listen, if you want to understand me, you need to understand as I introduce me to you. You can't understand me with your own independent investigation. Neither your mind is capable nor your consciousness is powerful to grasp my existence as it is. You can only understand my existence as per my introduction. Same way, you can understand Paramashiva only based on his own introduction. Understanding him based on his own introduction awakens something called Shraddha in you, not faith. Faith is poor word. Shraddha. And Shraddha breeds bhakti. And all the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, auspicious qualities of Paramashiva starts manifesting in you. Powers of Paramashiva starts manifesting in you. Listen, you just need to know what is swimming and see somebody is swimming, then simply your muscle memory starts manifesting swimming. Same way, you just need to know about the superconscious mutations of Paramashiva and see someone manifesting it. Your muscle memory, bioenergy, all will just pick up. And simply you will enjoy superconscious mutation of Paramashiva. So today I am trying to introduce the principles of superconscious mutation of Paramashiva and the 64 manifestation which he himself introduces in Veda and Agamas. I'll introduce one by one. Listen intensely. Even if you missed, watch this satsang again, because this satsang is not was, it will be is forever. You can replay and watch. It is not was, is or will be. It is. what Paramashiva manifested as Dakshinamurti to Sanakadi rishis, what he revealed as Uma Maheshwara to Uma Parvati, now I am revealing to all of you the same, from that same isness, tatata. So receive, replay, internalize, and start manifesting. Lingamurti, this whole universe, even NASA says now, they are very clear, the whole universe in the form of linga. Trillions and trillions and trillions of Brahmanda as manifested as linga. Next, Lingodbhava. Paramashiva manifests as Lingodbhava, Arunachala, to resolve the conflict between Brahma and Vishnu and establish the real truth about the supremacy. Next, he manifests as Mukhalinga, means linga with 5 faces of Sadashiva: creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirobhava, Anugraha. These 5 faces of Paramashiva manifesting in linga, Mukhalinga. Next, Sadashivamurti. The same 5 action of Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirobhava, Anugraha. Creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. In the form with 5 heads, 10 hands, and 15 eyes, he manifests as Sadashivamurti. Listen. Listen very sincerely, intensely. The introduction I am giving for each Murti is directly from Agama, as he introduced himself in Vedas and Agamas. I am just giving you English translation. All you need to do, sit with unclutched space and listen. You can see that very manifestation now in present. This whole Paramashivoham level 3, all I am trying to do is put this superconscious mutation in you. Full 21 days, what I am trying to do elaborately, I am trying to do in this 3 hours webinar. 3 hours, I can say 5 hours webinar. If you just listen intensely, as he revealed himself, you can experience now. Sadashivamurti. Next to Sadashivamurti is Mahasadashivamurti. Listen. Mahasadashivamurti is 25 dimensions together. Understand first this 5 dimension of Sadashivamurti. Creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, liberation. Actually, you are doing these 5 actions every day. Every day you create some part of your body newly, some part of your muscle memory newly, some part of your biomemory newly, some part of your bioenergy newly. And every day you do sustenance of your body, mind, being. Every day you do rejuvenation. Millions of cells die and millions get newly generated, replenished, rejuvenated. If you just understand this, you will see all, including cancer in your body, will be healed. Just understand this one dimension of Paramashiva. Every cell dying in your body, every cell newly creating in your body, that samhara is not ordinary destruction, it is rejuvenation. Anyone who meditates on Rudra, Lord of Samhara, will be free from all types of cancers. All types of cancers. Mukta, make sure your dad is sitting for the session. I'm not seeing him in the camera. Make sure he's on the camera. Listen. If you want Nitya Yavana, eternally to remain young, beautiful, handsome, meditate on Rudra. Rudra is Paramashiva's manifestation of rejuvenation. So understand, if you understand you are doing every day rejuvenation in your body, not only you will heal yourself from all disease, You will ever be young, energetic, beautiful, because you will not allow the tiredness, boredom to settle down in your body. If you want to be eternally young, beautiful, meditate on Rudra. Invoke Rudra in your inner space. That is why in Hindu tradition, the people who worship Rudra, connect with Rudra and become eternally young and beautiful are called Rudra Kanyas. You need only one understanding. You are the one who is rejuvenating. Same way, you should know you are the one who is deluding yourself. The agitation, any form of agitation, any form of perturbed restlessness, agitation is you putting yourself in delusion. Understand? Whenever you are agitated, deluded, restless, powerless, all you need is hold unclutching. Unclutching is the Trishula of Paramashiva. Just hold the unclutching. The greatest Shivastra, Pashupatastra, is unclutching. Hold, unclutching, and settle down from the delusion, agitation, powerlessness. You will simply enter into liberation, anugraha, moksha. Mukta, you can create a new window for him. You can give one more connection. He doesn't need to get up from the bed. He can, but I want to see him and I want him to see me. You can get one more connection. Listen. All of you listen. If you understand the 5 action, Panchakritya, Srishti, creation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Listen. If you understand all these five, if you understand all these five is happening in your very body, mind, every day, connect with that source energy which is doing that every day in you. That is Rudra. And bow down to that Rudra every morning. Oh Mahadeva, Paramashiva, oh Rudra, you are here. Doing this great rejuvenation in me. I trust your decision. I trust you. Please be intensely alive in me. Keep me eternally young by rejuvenating me. I tell you, listen carefully. Listen intensely. Simple, ordinary connection with Rudra energy, with Rudra who is present. Understand? Rudra is not past. He is present. He is actually just now watching over me and making sure I utter the right word which creates right introduction about himself in all of you. He is sitting right now in my tongue and moving, making me utter right words. So you all understand Rudra properly in your inner space. Actually, if you are going through any disease or your family, especially your own DNA, like your own father, mother, grandmother, grandfather, or any of your own blood relation going through any serious illnesses, just sit next to them. See, if you are going through, sit with yourself and see how the Rudra is working. And because you never recognize the Rudra's work due to your delusion and agitation, you feel you are falling into destruction and death. If you just sit and watch yourself or them going through Rudra, actually you will also understand the power of Rudra. You will even heal them. Suhas, sit with your grandfather and you try this as a meditation. See how Rudra is rejuvenating in his body and how Rudra is doing his work in his body. One, you will understand the power of Rudra. Not only you will manifest the power of Rudra, you will even be able to help him and heal him and rejuvenate him. I tell you, usually, when you start all these meditation or connecting or these higher manifestations, when you yourself going through some physical disease, it will be a little difficult. That time you need my grace directly. Directly, I need to intervene and lift you. But if some of your relatives, blood relatives are going through, sit with them and see. That will actually awaken Rudra in you It will help you and the other person, both. So it will be all a very powerful manifestation. Somebody is asking, Swamiji, what is the best Rudra mantra to invoke Rudra? See, in Samaya Diksha, the mantra you get, I'll give Samaya Diksha now itself to all of you. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. This is the best mantra to manifest all 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. 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 Now listen. The next form is Mahasadashiva Murti. Paramashiva with his 25 dimensions. See, these 5 aspects like a creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, delusion, liberation. These 5 into 5. I'll explain, listen. Creation getting created. Creation getting sustained. Creation energy getting rejuvenated. Creation energy put into delusion and pulled out of delusion. Creation energy liberated. Liberation. Creation goes through, creation energy goes through these 5. Same way, sustenance energy goes through the 5. Sustenance energy getting created, getting sustained, getting rejuvenated, getting deluded, getting liberated. Same way, rejuvenation energy getting created, getting sustained, getting rejuvenated, getting deluded, and getting liberated. These 5 going into these 5 forms 25 cosmic dimension. These 25 cosmic dimensions of Paramashiva is the 25 face of Paramashiva. Listen. This 25 face, even if you understand intellectually and start connecting, he will simply manifest in you because he is. Right now he is sitting with all the auspicious, joyful, blissful, kolagala, nityotsava, swarupa in Maha Kailasa and manifesting through me, through the right words and body language and the superconscious energy, and initiating all of you right now. Even if you just internalize and understand, you will connect with him right now and manifest his all superconscious mutations in you verily. Paramashiva, in his Maha Sadashiva Murti manifestation, who is the Lord of Maha Kailasa, with 25 heads, 75 eyes, 50 hands, Sarva Mangala, Sarva Atsarya, Sarva Swatantra, Sarvanyatva, Ananta Kalyana Gunaswarupa, Tejomaya, Swayam Prakas, in his form is alive. Listen. You are introduced by him, about him. Now, he is introducing himself, about himself to you right now. So, just sit and receive. Kailasa Vision team has done a beautiful job of collecting all these 64 manifestations and naming it in English for you to connect. When I describe, you can easily connect. I know, surely within these 5 hours, all the 64 explaining all the 64 manifestations may not be possible, but at least I'll give a simple introduction and connect. So you can all start getting the glimpse. For now, the next form of Paramashiva, Uma Maheshwara Murti. This is the manifestation, Paramashiva, teaching Vedas and Agamas, revealing Vedas and Agamas to himself, Paramashiva Shakti. This is the form we worship in Adi Kailasa in Bangalore and Paschima Kailasa in Los Angeles. In both Adi Kailasa in Bangalore and Paschima Kailasa in Los Angeles, both places, this form is only worshipped of Paramashiva. He, having Devi in his lap, revealing Vedas and Agamas to Devi with a tremendous love, care and blessings. The next form is Sukhasana Murti. Again, he is also manifested mainly for teaching Vedas and Agamas and giving the grace not only to Devi, along with Devi to everyone. That is why in this form, the Devi and he both will be sitting in Samasana on the Sarvanya Pita of Kailasa. He and Devi both will be sitting on Samasana. In Uma Maheshwara Murti, Devi will be sitting on his lap. Now, Devi will be sitting in Samasana with him because along with Devi, he graces the whole universe. That is Sukhasana Murti. Next form, manifestation, is Umesha Murti. In this Murti also, he graces to the whole universe along with Uma. So, he is called Umesha Murti. Next form is Somaskanda Murti. This manifestation is with Uma and Skanda. Somaskanda Murti means Soma, Asi, Skanda. Soma means Paramashiva himself. Asi means his own Devi, his own manifestation in the female form. Paramashiva Shakti, Devi, Asi. Skanda, his own manifestation, Subramanya. So all the three together is Somaskanda Murti. This form is the largest worshipped form of Paramashiva almost in all temples. See, the first will be Linga form. Next will be the Somaskanda Murti form. He receives all the Utsavas, Brahmotsavas, almost in all temples. So he is the most popular form of Paramashiva, most worshipped superconscious mutation of Paramashiva, Somaskanda Murti. The next, Chandrasekhara Murti. The Paramashiva manifested to save moon, Chandra. And this is the Chandrasekhara Murti. Next, Vrishabharuda Murti. Paramashiva sitting on Rishabha. is Vahana with Devi. He is the Rishabharuda manifestation of Paramashiva. Next is Vrishabhantika Murti. He leaning, standing next to Rishabha, leaning on Rishabha in a very unique way. It's a very beautiful form. If you go to Los Angeles temple, in the entrance, you will see this form, because this is exactly the form he gave me a darshan in my old quarters in Biddi. So I made this form, Rishabhandagar, and wanted to install there, but I sent it to Los Angeles, thinking that I'll make another one for Los Angeles. In the reception, if you see, he will be standing tall. That deity is Rishabhantaka Murti. Still, his Rishabha has not reached Adi Kailasa. Sorry, Paschima Kailasa. Rishabha is also made. It is there in Adi Kailasa. That has to be brought and assembled. But that Rishabhantaka Murti is there in Paschim Kailas. I think still Rishabha has not yet got the visa. He has to get the visa and come. Next form. Bhujanga Lalita Murti. Listen. This whole universe rests in Paramashiva, on him. Paramashiva reveals this truth to the whole, all the living beings. In him, everything resides. That manifestation of that superconscious truth is Bhujanga Lalita Murti. Next. Bhujanga Trashamurti. It is like he stands tall. Listen to this truth. He stands tall even during the Mahapralaya, when everything is destroyed, everything actually merges inside him, rests in him. See, even when the universe is manifested, that stays on him. That is described by Bhujanga Lalita Murti. Even during the Pralaya, everything goes in him, is demonstrated by Bhujanga Trashamurti. Next. Sandhya Nrittamurti. See, Sandhya means the day and night meeting, and destruction, pralaya, and creation meeting. For you to understand roughly, you can roughly understand as ice age. During every ice age, he dances the cosmic dance. That is called Sandhya Tandava. Listen. Whenever you feel everything in your life is falling apart, suddenly business is collapsing, wife is leaving, and kids are not listening to you, it's almost like your whole life is going. What do you think as your life is going? Health is failing. Whenever you feel that pralaya is happening in you, meditate on this Sandhya Nrittamurti. Invoke him. Mahadeva, you are doing your Sandhya Nritya in my life. Just show me you are doing the Sandhya Nritya. That's enough. He will simply manifest auspiciousness in you. Listen. He just wants you to know he is doing Sandhya Tandava in your life. If you recognize it, you will say, all right, come on. Now it is time. Let's start the creation. Let the new yuga start. Let the new universe manifest. Let the new life manifest. If you want new life to manifest in you, connect with Sandhya Tandava Murti. Nritta means Tandava. Sandhya Nritta Murti. Tandava goes through certain discipline. Nritta is beyond all discipline. So, if you feel things are falling apart in your life, connect with Sandhya Nritta Murti. Mahadeva, Paramashiva, I know you are doing Sandhya Nritta in me. Just reveal that you are doing Sandhya Nritta, so I'll be in peace. That's all. He will feel very shy. Hey, this fellow caught me. Now he knows my Leela. Okay, come on. All right. I'll create the new life for you. I'll manifest new life for you. Delusion will delude you as long as you have not recognized the delusion is deluding you. The moment you recognize delusion is deluding you, it can no more delude you. Delusion cannot delude you. The moment you recognize delusion is deluding you. Actually, even this Sandhya Nritta Murti we have in Seattle Temple. Seattle Temple, we have not only the huge Nataraja, Ananda Nataraja, we have some more dancing forms of Shiva. I think we have done some, that 108 dancing forms of Shiva and sent to different temples few deities, few forms. So Seattle has Ananda Tandava, as in Chidambaram, and Sandhya Nritta Murti, and even Los Angeles has few more Tandavas of Paramashiva's forms. So connect with this superconscious mutation, Sandhya Nritta Murti. You will realize nothing is falling apart, everything is falling in place. If you know Paramashiva, you will know everything falls in place. If you don't know Paramashiva, you may be deluded thinking everything is falling apart. The next Murti of Paramashiva, Sada Nritta Murti. He dances during creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, delusion, liberation. In all the Panchakrityas, he does Sada Tandava. He is called Sada Nritta Murti. This Swami is also called Ananda Tandava. if the Devi form is not attached, is called Ananda Tandava. If the Devi form is also attached, is called Sadanritta Tandava. Sadanritta Murti. In Seattle earlier we had only Ananda Tandava, means only Paramashiva dancing. Then we added the Devi Murti. Now is Sadanritta Murti. Connect with Sadanritta Murti to have everything. He will give you creation related powers, sustenance related powers, rejuvenation related powers, delusion related powers like pulling out of delusion, everything, and liberation related powers. Sadadandava Murti, Sadanritta Murti. Sadanritta Murti. Actually, I wanted to build a temple for all the 64 manifestations in US. That is why that time itself, in 2001, I started carving all these deities. The Uma Maheshwara Murti I carved is sitting in Ohio. See, if you see Paramashiva in San Jose, he will be having fire and Damaru. But if you see Ohio Paramashiva, he will be having Man and Maru, deer and the Maru. These two in his hand. Because he is carved as per the Agama of Uma Maheshwara Murti. The sixth form I explained to you, that is the form we worship in Ohio. And Sadanritta Murti is in Seattle. Maybe all the present temples can take the responsibility and make the 64 temples in US to bless the whole US. All the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva should have a temple in US. The Houston Linga is called Mukha Linga. The Kalahasti Linga, you will see the top of the Linga will have all the faces of Paramashiva, Muha. So each of the deity, if you see in the temples, Paramashiva temples we built in US, will have one manifestations of these 64 forms of Paramashiva. The next, Chandatandava Murti. This is one of the powerful dance where Mahadeva and Devi both dancing. Seeing this only, the Arunagiri, the great sage from Tiruvannamalai, Arunagiri Nadar, not Arunagiri Yogeshwara. Arunagiri Yogeshwara is Paramashiva himself. Arunagiri Nadar sings, Adala Seta Narada, Agilamer Midada, Abinagali Tanada, Avalodan, Adiravisi Vadadum, Vidagileru Varada, Arugubuda Vedalam Avayada, Adala Seta Narada. It's a very beautiful description of dance happening in Kailasa. How Paramashiva is dancing and Mahakali is dancing. Arigubuda Vedalam Avayada, all the Bhutas, Vedalas, Pretas of Paramashiva dancing, all of them jumping. It's a very beautiful Tiruppugal where Arunagirinathar had the darshan of Kailasa, Maha Kailasa, and describes it. Adala Sedana Arada, Agila Meru Midada. Such beautiful description. This Chanda Dandavamurti, if you connect with him, you will experience raw bliss. Raw bliss in all the aspects of Paramashiva. A real raw bliss, wild bliss will manifest in you if you connect with Chanda Tandava Murti. Next, Gangadhara Murti. This is the manifestation where Paramashiva receives Ganga from Satyaloka in his jata and releases to Bhuloka in a very protected way. If the Ganga comes with all her power, the planet Earth will not be able to sustain it. Same way, if the Ganga is not there in the planet Earth, it will dry up, it will go without water. So Paramashiva does the job of transformer. He receives it and gives to the level which is needed. A real conscious water management system for the universe is Paramashiva himself. His jata is the real water management system, conscious, superconscious water management system. Next, Ganga Visarjana Murti. This is the form through which he releases Ganga. The earlier form, Gangadhara Murti, is receiving Ganga from Satyaloka, Brahmaloka. Ganga Visarjana is releasing Ganga to the Bhuloka. Next, Tripurantaka. This is the form in which he opened his three eyes. The manifestation as Tripurantaka, he opened three eyes and burnt Tripurasuras, the three demons who had three worlds for themselves. He burnt all of them just through opening the third eye. So, this manifestation is Tripurantaka Murti. If you want to destroy negativity, invoke him. Invoke Tripurantaka Murti, he will destroy it. Next, Kalyana Sundara Murti. This is the form with which he married Parvati And Meenakshi, whenever he marries the incarnations of Parvati, he assumes Kalyana Sundara Murti form, comes and marries. This is a powerful manifestation. If you invoke him, all the relationship related issues will be cleared. He will bring completion all the relationship related issues. He is the manifestation of the most powerful superconscious relationship. Maybe I'll give you a small break. Then I'll reveal the truths about the Navakanda Yoga and how that helps to understand all the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. I don't think just in one webinar we can receive all the 64 manifestations, because even to give a simple introduction to 64 will take at least 10 hours. So today I introduce the principles of this 64 manifestation. And I will reveal the core principle of Navakanda Yoga. I will reveal the Navakanda Yoga, which is the foundation principle of all the 64 manifestations of Paramashiva. So you can understand all the 64. So let's gather for next session. Be blissful. Blessings. Blessings. Be blissful. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms, homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean, because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms, homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty. Humanity has reached a level, we have evolved enough technology to provide food, clothes, shelter, medical care, all the fundamental basic needs for all 8 billion people. One side, the homes foreclosure and the homes are just locked without people. The other side, millions are in the platforms, homeless. One side, tons of food is getting wasted and getting destroyed to maintain the price. The other side, millions dying without food. Millions of clothes used only once is dumped into ocean because people don't know what to do with it. I have decided Kailasa is going to pick up a project. I call that project as Ishanya, collecting these things which is getting dumped and wasted, which is in turn becoming hazard for the nature, and distributing it to the place and countries, people for whom it's a great boon. In this Chaturmasya alone, we will be able to bring 1 crore people out of poverty.